Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I am going to do something a little different today by giving Obsidian Splitter a try, just without the Chrono Glove. Why? Because I gotta have that horse head. Okay, that didn't sound right, but no, I want to try using a Quester Cap as a means of more easily and efficiently repositioning so I can hopefully use it properly. But it wouldn't be a power run without some Arcana that are designed to really use that power, so I'm taking Tidal Blast and Exploding Fireball as well, and using the Rule Rope. This ought to be a nice straightforward power run. Let's see how we do. I am a little worried about what sort of start we're going to have. If at all possible, I'd like to start in the Chilling Dungeons, since I can basically just kind of choose that for myself. No. I think it's weird that you can actually just go until he gives you what you want. Alright, so, Chilling Dungeons it is. Let's see how this goes. Why am I not fucking surprised? Why am I not fucking surprised? Atlas, you are always there. Always! Why is this my fate? Anyway. Enough complaining about that. So what I need to realize about using Obsidian Splitter is that it's got two modes essentially. It's got 1-2 swing and then swing and a toss. What I need to do is be a little bit smarter about using the 1-2 swing and not always feel like I need to charge the damn thing. Because charging it is what gets you into trouble. At least if you're charging it without some sort of forethought. What do we have here? Well, that just seems like a good thing to have early on. Increased gold gain. Yes, we will take it. Because we need to be prepared for what comes ahead, which is, of course, goddamn Atlas. It's always goddamn Atlas. I hate that they can summon elemental agents. It throws off my entire groove. Seriously, why did they think that was a good idea? There we go. One thing I do really like about Obsidian Splitter, I mean, and yes, it's going to be a little obvious. Hey, you want to fall in that hole for me? Thank you. But it is nice and strong. Works very well with this sort of power build. Oops. I made an oopsie-poopsie. Alright, so things that are going to be of importance. We're definitely going to be wanting the... upgrades to our spells, especially Tidal Blast, because upgrading that will give me a shield to work with. And you've seen what you can do with a well-placed shield. Let's open this up. More importantly, what I really need are some good relics to help boost my damage per hit. This is one of those runs where I'm actually not too worried about critical hit rate. I'm just worried about straight up damage. So hopefully we find things like Captain's Ring, or even Amulet of Sundering would be nice. Basically something to really make use of the idea that all of my Arcana do strong single hit damage. That little S sneaky room. There you go. What were you expecting, bub? What were you expecting? There you go. Oh, we have an immediate Obsidian Splitter upgrade. That's nice. And Burn Cycle actually is not bad. Although, is that really what I want to run with? I mean, I probably shouldn't worry about it too much, considering that I do have Hand of Midas, but... Increases resistance to Earth-based attacks. Yeah, considering what's coming up later, I'm gonna take it. There we go. Alright, good first floor. So I said yesterday that I was going to be doing some more talking about our D&D campaign. So that having been said, we actually have two different campaigns running with two different friends. So the one with my Fire Elementalist, Neath, and my Lightning Elementalist, Lucy. Which, by the way, that's not her actual name, it's just the name that she prefers to go by because it's generally easier for people to pronounce. But the other game we have going on is I designed a Dark Knight by the name of Ray. And I know what you're thinking, and no, I wasn't doing it just to poke fun at Star Wars. No, I actually wanted to legit use the name Ray. And as for a Dark Knight, it has nothing to do with Star Wars. She's not a Sith. I was actually borrowing from Final Fantasy, so she's that type of Dark Knight. She's specialized in two-handed weapons, and as stereotypical as it might be, she typically uses the scythe. The other interesting part about her is that she is not human, she is a Naga. So, or I guess Lamia, for those of you who are more familiar with that term, so half human, half serpent. It creates all sorts of really interesting means of movement, and it means that even though she's a large-sized creature technically, oh, I'm dumb, that she can still fit into somewhat small spaces because of the shape of her body and how she moves. It also creates this really interesting kind of fish out of water scenario where despite do I take glass cannon? Will you just hurry up and die? Well, I guess I took it now. But that's okay. The fact of the matter was I was gonna take it anyway. Look at that damage increase. Boom! Oh, you guys don't stand a chance. Okay, I'm not lowering my max HP even further for the vampire fangs. You have to be out of your mind. How are you? Never mind. I survived! Melt. I mean, yeah, he survived, just not for long. There we go. Also, the idea that my basic is doing 20 damage per swing now, I mean, that's... Ow. Okay. Made the mistake of getting a little bit too close to use that. Alright. Oh, hey, there we go. Tidal Blast upgrade. Now we just need other powerful arcana. And when I say powerful, I don't necessarily mean like just top tier. I just mean ones that have strong single hits. Which means, yes, I should have taken Burn Cycle. You can post me about it in the comments later. Oh. Oh wow, Obsidian Splitter. Alright, so when used properly, that's actually pretty good. I openly admit to the idea that I don't typically use it properly. I'm getting off topic. Where was I? Oh yeah, so the other game involving her, we are currently exploring a dwarven mine, which is of particular interest to her because her backstory is that she's a practicing artisan who really enjoys her craft, and the master artisan that she was working with to learn before she went off to be an adventurer was a dwarf from her homeland. So she's knowledgeable on dwarven craft and really interested in seeing what sorts of things are down here. Like, one of the things that she's, or a couple of the things actually, that she's found that are really catching her interest are, she found a spider drone that she's planning on repairing and reprogramming so that she can use it as a sort of like follower slash assistant. Yeah, I figured this would be a good place to start, just to get the one who's the most resistant to my stuff out of the way. And hopefully that gives us time to build up some strength for Atlas. Nah, nothing here that's really all that interesting. Bye-bye, Sierra Mist. But I hear you saying, okay, it doesn't seem like you to build a character that's just straight combat focused, so what's the catch? What was it that what was the design philosophy behind this character? Well, the trait of hers that I put the most attention on is the idea that she has a very bad memory. And I know that doesn't sound like much. It's like, oh, she just can't remember things. Well, I mean, it sounds minor, but it actually forms a core part of her character. Because part of what she's doing, yes, I will go ahead and boost myself. Because part of what she's adventuring for is for a means by which to improve her mental alacrity. Hello, birds. How you guys doing? I was wondering when you were gonna start making yourselves known. Actually, to be fair, that's almost entirely Cecil just making a damn fool of himself. What is this, Voltaic Needle? It's not really all that great. Airborne Slam, on the other hand, that I can get down with. So, oh, hello, Fairy. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Curse Eater's vest is also interesting, but I get the feeling it's not going to increase either one of those statistics by very much, so we'll probably come back when we have enough money to adopt Etra. Why didn't you use the teleporter? I knew I forgot something. But the area where her bad memory really shined the most, at least previously, and I say previously because I mean there are chances for that to be a thing again, for her bad memory to have a greater effect later, but it really affected things in dungeons because she absolutely could not remember which direction she's already gone and which one she hasn't. So what's ended up happening is that because of that, I've been forced to roleplay little methods for her to help remember details. Like, in dungeons, in order to help her remember where she's been and where she hasn't, she would take a little piece of chalk or something along those lines and just make a little etch into the wall showing which directions they've been in the dungeon and which ones they haven't. or she would oftentimes call on the other characters traveling with her to help her remember things. Like, there was one time in which I rolled poorly enough that the poor girl actually for a moment forgot her own name. Which I know that sounds just pathetic, but it was actually kind of fun to roleplay out. Okay, just getting my ass kicked in this room. Alright, that was kind of embarrassing, actually. Alright, let's not have that happen again. I'm still thinking about it, but with only one cursed relic, I don't know how effective that's really going to be. Let's just take my fairy friend, and we'll go and dominate the trials together. There we go. Alright, I gotta be careful now. I'm running on lower max health than I normally am, so I have to be mindful of what's going on. What? I landed that. At least that's the narrative I'm sticking with. I should have landed that anyway. There we go. Wonderfully executed. Now we just need to keep that up. Come on, die already. Christ. I don't have all day to sit here and keep hitting you with an axe. There's a sentence you almost never get to hear. I don't have all day to keep hitting you with an axe. What is that even supposed to mean? I don't know if there is another meaning to it. I think that's supposed to be taken very literally. Oh, I could have gotten an even better surprise attack from up here. Oh well. I'd say it still worked out pretty well, but I am still in need of more health. What do we have here? Airborne Slam upgrade? Yes, please. And Glacial Cross I'm not sure about. Especially since I would still like to find some relics to not only just to make myself feel a little bit better, but also because I would like to continue improving the heavy travel jacket, and I needs myself some relics to do that with. I also wouldn't mind finding the good doctor. Oh, there's Nox. Anything interesting for me? And I see the sword. My only issue with that is that I'm not quite at the... Damn it. Not quite at the end of the trial, so I don't know if I'm going to need a bunch more money or not. Now, I know what you're saying. You have the hand of Midas. You can probably stand to afford increased store prices. And you're probably right, but at the moment, I'm a little bit of a hurting unit here, so gonna have to cut me a little slack here in my decision making. Good bird. There we go. Last 3% of the map is down here. Who knows, maybe we'll find something neat. It's unlikely, but hey, never hurts to try, right? Alright, so no, there wasn't, but, you know, again, never hurts to try. And, yeah, we'll take a risk. Because that is another 20% damage boost. Oh my goodness! There's a 55% damage boost, and another 12%, and so it's 8%, 20% armor. Oh my god! Admittedly, I am feeling pretty powerful, but I can't let it get to my head because this game has a way of making you pay for your hubris. There we go. No glue for me. The knockback is a good thing, thank you. And it wasn't the doctor, so the hell with it. Could have taken Glacial Cross, but I figure I'm better off waiting to see if something different shows up. That having been said, would Glacial Cross have been a good idea? Yeah, probably. Just as per usual, I'd kind of forgotten about it by the time the situation... Okay, can we stop? Yay, smooth! Okay, I am playing really poorly, like, really poorly. This is like inexcusable levels of terrible that I'm playing at right now. Dragon Blast. Alright, see, I'm kind of glad I held out now. We could have had both, though. Well, yes, you are right, and I'm not going to make an excuse. I was being an idiot. And you saw the stuff that I was getting hit by, right? And it's mostly because I was really trying to get my blows in with Obsidian Splitter. So, like I just finished saying, it's that hubris. For Lord only knows whatever reason, I was figuring myself to be untouchable. And yeah, I was just getting greedy. I hate you guys. Okay, so we are in a place where we absolutely cannot negotiate. We definitely need to. Oh, come on. Oh my god, I hate these guys. Stop already! Christ! Wow, even after he dies, I still take damage. Fuck my life. Fucking serious? Mashing the dash button and the game just does nothing. Ugh. Alright, so we are near dead now because I've made every bad decision in the book. I'm not going to sit here and blame the game for all of my problems. I have made a litany of bad decisions. Including thinking that the game would play fair and not try to hit me from off screen. Oh, come on! You're fucking serious right now. Alright, well, this has been an absolute failure of a run here. And whereas, no, I'm not giving up, the deck is very, very badly stacked against me. Don't teach me for using Obsidian Splitter. I'm gonna do something different that I don't normally do and have a lot of fun with it. And the game's like, oh, are you sure about that? This is what I get for trusting myself with something that I traditionally do poorly with. Okay, well, as I'd mentioned earlier, I don't have a choice but to buy that. You know, it's not even doing that much. So, yay! Alright, really need to be focusing on defense right now because the game has deigned to show me that I am a loser. It's a big old smelly stinky butt loser. That's what you get for building a character with high physical stats and low wisdom. Which I do have to say, I'm pretty sure what defines wisdom and intelligence were actually switched around in like 3rd or 4th edition. But keep in mind, everything that we've built was built off of a 2nd edition foundation. So just keep that in mind. Is that if I got that wrong, it's not because I'm trying to confuse anyone. It's because I may know things a little bit differently than you may know them. And some of you might be listening and going, Dungeons and Dragons? What's that? But one of the reasons you want to play up at least a small spot where your character is weak instead of always playing to your strengths is because that's where a lot of the more interesting role playing is going to come from. And yeah, in combat you definitely want to be in show off mode. And that's the time for you to show off what combative abilities your character has earned and how they use them. Which, in and of itself, is still a form of roleplay, if you ask me. But when I say roleplay, I don't just mean combat. I mean just the moments in between combat, between the dungeon calls, where you're having, interpersonal moments, where you're having, your time to really talk and get to know one another in a more personal setting. That's what I'm talking about. It's where you solve problems on a personal level. And hey, for all I know, some of you maybe do play, but you play mostly like combat and power gaming. Which, again, if you heard what I said a couple of days ago about Lucy and Neith, yeah, I'm not against the idea of power gaming. But it can't replace just good old-fashioned character and world building. And that is something that I think is really important to do to not only get your players invested in the game, but also to show that there really is some intrigue. There's an actual world to play around with. I just saw Dr. Song's lab. I will definitely get a cheapo Arcana to give to her. Little bastard. Let's see. Well, if I'm gonna give Dr. Song a cheapo Arcana, then I should probably not spend a bunch of money here. Which goes very much against what I want to do because I have the heavy travel jacket, but the Golden Saber of Envy really does a good job at limiting your resources, even when you have Hand of Midas. I'll be back. Go, horse-headed man! You can do it! So essentially what I've done is I've created a run where I can trust myself with everything I have except for Obsidian Splitter. I know that some of you are really good with Obsidian Splitter, and say more power to you, I'm just not one of those people. I'm just not. The more I use Obsidian Splitter, the more I have to remind myself, hey, you're god-awful with this and you know it. What do you think you're doing? I say cheapo Arcana, but god, Golden Saber of Envy really drives the point home on how much it's making things more expensive. Healthcare card. It's not great, but at least it makes heavy travel jacket better. There we go. Beautifully handled. Conqueror's Cloak. Mages and Summoners? Yep. Good, screw those guys. I wouldn't trust one of them as far as I could throw them. I'm gonna save my money. Maybe I will get a chance to get a good relic in the final, like, trial level. Hey, have you struck a deal with the town of Lenova so that you're always third? You always have the most time to build up and just make me feel stupid. There we go. To combo the hell out of him. That's what you get. Yeah, no thanks. Damn it. Eh. The moral of the story for me is it doesn't matter how powerful it is if you can't control it properly. Smooth. I'm really trying hard to get this to work, but it just feels like when I'm using the big axe, it just feels like I'm swinging my weapon through mud. Like I just can't get used to how I can't get used to how it feels. And it's a shame because it's got some things going for it that I really like the nice wide combo arc and its overall power. Well, here we go. All Flash Agent City. So this run should explain to you guys my personal stance on things that rely on luck. Because I know that my luck is terrible. Very first thing he does, null flash agents. Very first thing. Oh my goodness. There we go, there we go. There we go. Okay, thank goodness. Alright, I'm glad that's done because I was just getting slaughtered there. That is way too much damage to be taking for the final level. My goodness. To wrap up what I was saying earlier, sometimes the best thing to play up is one of your character's kind of weaker traits, so that you can really have something to roleplay off of and design character traits around. And that's not to say that you never play to your strengths. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when it comes to designing character personality, anyone can go along with the, oh my god, look how strong and mighty I am, you guys. Oh, they just can't get enough. Look at these muscles. But in the long run, what's going to be more interesting is what your shortcomings are and how you're going to overcome them, and that's what I'm really enjoying about playing Ray. Outside of the idea that there's a Ray out there whose real name isn't Mary Sue, so. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you coming this far with me. Drop me a like, leave me a comment. As always, I appreciate you spending some time with me. It goes a long way. So, again, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.